group of 7 leaders gather in the scenic French town of Evian-les-Bains to mount further diplomatic and economic pressure on Moscow. A completely different geopolitical script is unfolding 700 kilometers east of the Russian capital in the historic city of Kazan, where Russian President Vladimir Putin is warmly rolling out the red carpet for heads of state from the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. This high-profile 2-day summit officially marks 35 years of diplomatic collaboration, standing as Putin's first in-person meeting with the Southeast Asian bloc since 2018, and providing visible proof that Moscow's strategic pivot to the east is yielding powerful results, despite years of intense, multi-layered Western sanctions explicitly designed to isolate the Kremlin from the global community. The impressive guest list alone highlights a deeply pragmatic global landscape, featuring heavyweights like Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., and Thailand's Deputy Prime Minister Anutin Chanvirakul, alongside the prominent prime ministers of Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos, leaders representing nations that mostly supported the United Nations General Assembly resolution condemning the invasion of Ukraine 5 years ago, but are now forced by the stark realities of domestic economic survival to heavily recalibrate their foreign policy. The ultimate driving force behind this massive diplomatic shift is long-term energy security for Southeast Asia's 680 million people, whose rapidly accelerating economies are intensely hungry for power at a time when parallel conflicts across the Middle East have effectively closed the vital Strait of Hormuz, choking off primary maritime shipping corridors and leaving developing Asian nations highly vulnerable to sudden supply shortages and skyrocketing fuel prices. Enter Vladimir Putin, who, having been blocked from selling energy to traditional Western European buyers, has aggressively reoriented Russia's entire oil and gas grid toward Asia by offering a direct antidote to ASEAN's deep structural anxieties through formal promises of increased crude exports, long-term liquefied natural gas contracts, and advanced technical cooperation on building state-of-the-art nuclear power plants. While European leaders at the G7 summit work overtime to secure international backing to drag Putin to a European negotiating table, this stark global split screen reveals that while the West attempts to squeeze Russia completely out of the international economy, leaders of the global South are actively flying into Russia to secure their own economic futures. Ultimately, by firmly keeping Moscow close as a vital dialogue partner, ASEAN is sending a clear, unified message to Washington and Brussels that when national stability, industrial growth, and affordable energy are on the line, regional self-interest and economic survival will always triumph over foreign geopolitical pressure.
If you like this video, then like, share, and subscribe to Mirror Now.